turn to some breaking news coming up next for our viewers. And we have some more updates coming from Russia. The Kremlin has confirmed the shooting of Russian official Lieutenant General Vladimir Alexeyev, adding that the Russian President Putin is now being briefed on the situation. According to Moscow's prosecutor's office, Alexeyev had been shot several times at a residential building in northwest Moscow by an unknown assailant who fled the scene. Lieutenant General Vladimir Alexeyev has been rushed to the hospital following this incident. Alexeyev is the deputy chief of the main directorate of the General Staff at the Defense Ministry. When mercenary chief Yevgeny Prigozhin staged a short-lived mutiny in June 2023, Alexeyev was one of the top officials who was sent to negotiate with him. We'll, of course, bring you all the updates coming out of that developing situation in Moscow. And in this discussion, we're joined by Major General Gigi Davidi, a professor of international relations and strategic studies, joining us live from New Delhi. Thank you very much for joining us. This situation, of course, is developing, but also follows a flurry of previous assassinations that have taken place on Russian soil. This, of course, as far as we know yet, hasn't been confirmed as having any Ukrainian involvement. But what does this say and how about the current situation, especially as we're locked in the middle of direct trilateral talks between the United States, Russia and Ukraine? And is it likely to have any impact on them?
Well, Thomas, today we are in the era of hybrid warfare. In the hybrid warfare, you are fighting on the battlefield, you are fighting in the gray zone, and you are fighting through the proxies. So all these things go on simultaneously. And as the fighting goes on, you are also diplomatically engaging with each other. They say that while fighting, you are also talking. So such like assassinations or assassination attempt are all part of the hybrid warfare. And they are also in the gray zone warfare, because currently, if you see how the Ukrainian and the Russians are fighting, they are fighting on the battlefield on the front line. They are fighting also through the aerial warfare, striking at each other's installations, energy infrastructure. And at the same time, there are also proxies that are also playing the role that is behind, not in the front line, but in the rear areas. So what you can see now, whether it is Ukrainian have a hand or not, well, that can't be conjectured. But definitely, this type of assassinations, this type of targeting the senior military leadership or the political leadership is all part of today's warfare, and that's why we call it the age of hybrid warfare. Thomas.
Yes, Major General Davidi, do stay with us as we turn to our next story. Of course, we'll keep our viewers updated on that developing situation.